All right. So before we get into the slides, what I just wanted to say is that I know that in our hearts and in our souls, that we absolutely have an intuition that resides there, that we really don't need cards. We really don't need pendulums. We don't necessarily need those things, but they are really blessed tools that we've been given in order to tap into our intuition. And the more we get comfortable with that, the less maybe we need these tools. But right now, it seems like for most people, having some sort of tool to connect to the divine has been incredibly helpful. Like on our retreat last year, wouldn't you agree, Harleen? Every time we pulled a card, it was just like, oh my God,
Yes.
it couldn't be more perfect, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So there is some magic that exists between our deepest desires and what we know is good for us and this field of possibilities that exists, which is holding us, absolutely holding us in our divinity. And so sometimes we forget that. And for me, when I use my pendulum or I use an oracle card, I often think that it's almost like my angels are around me, right? It's like it's something other than me, but there's this energy around me and I'm tapping into it. When I get vulnerable and I get still, I can actually bring those energies into me in a much more powerful way. So we are, as I see it, we are divine beings living a human existence, and our divinity, our angels, our guides, everything around us is like cheerleading us on. Be the best you can be. Be the most awesome person you can be. And we're here to help you to do that. So that's why I use these tools, and that's why I want to introduce them to you. So the first thing I want to do is to show you this pendulum that I'm using right now. So has a little crystal and it has a little turquoise thing and it's quartz crystal. And so I thought, well, I should pick a card for this class. And I thought, no, let's do it together online. So I'm inviting both of your energies in this, and I'm going to use my pendulum. I put my hand right here and it feels the energy from me. And I say yes, and it gives me a big circle yes. And then I say no, and it goes counterclockwise. So I'm going to ask it which deck is the most profound one that we could use for this class. So which deck would you like me to use? Do you want me to use the Four Agreements? No. Do you want me to use Kuan Yin? No. Do you want me to use Earth Warrior? Yes. Okay. There we have it. So this is the deck that we're going to use for this class, which is the Earth Warrior cards. And these have to do with just our profound presence on Earth right now and how we can make deep changes in the world based on ourselves and what we do. So when we get to this point, picking a card, I'm going to use this deck for each of you and for the course. But now I know that for this particular recording, we're going to use the Earth Warrior Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Fair enough? Okay. So now we can
Sounds
go
good.
ahead and go to our slide. You've been invited to the Oracle Intuition class. There's our little agenda for the hour. So I thought it was interesting to look at the history, or you know how his story, have you ever thought about it? It's his story or her story. History really is his story. And we're changing it to her story for this course,
Yes,
right?
let's change
Okay, it's
it.
her. It is her story, not history. Okay.
Sorry, that's
Isn't that cool? So as you can see that little logo that I used to use years ago, that was my logo right there. But I think it's very useful in this. So what that infinity circle shows is that we have a head, a heart, and a gut. And our heart is the energy that it flows through. So when we're using our intuition, people often say it's gut, but it's a circle between all of these. We have heart energy, we have gut energy, and we have head energy. And it's good to like create all of those when we're using our intuition. It's so interesting because our earliest ancestors absolutely knew the connection between these things. And for thousands of years before we have ever gotten into any of these tools, these native cultures have used all kinds of ways to have a connection to their intuition. The earliest was the casting of stones. And Harleen, you may have some things to say about that from your religious background, but there were tarot cards. There's the I Ching, which is the Chinese method. There's casting of stones. There's the ruins. Do you have something in your culture, Harleen, that relates to that that you're aware of?
No, not necessarily that. That would be a little more Kabbalah instead of Judaism.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah, more
I just
metaphysics.
wondered.
But yeah, no, thank you. I don't have anything that's coming to mind right now.
Okay, okay. But suffice it to say that here we are now in 2024, and just imagine at this, we're at this pinnacle here, but going down through ages and ages and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, there was a recognition that inside of us we have this gut feeling about what's right, what's wrong, what we need to do, how we can manifest things, all of that. And through the centuries, there was always possibility of how to tap into that. And they had different ways of doing it. Now, as we move into our century and where we are in this year, we have these oracle decks, and there are, hundreds of decks. And but anyway, the main thing that we want to do is we want to leap into the field of all possibilities. So if you can imagine you're here and you have an auric field around you, and on this call, we're all connecting with that. But imagine that that was out into the entire universe. And so there, everything's out there waiting for us. Okay. It's that field of all possibilities is present, it's alive, it's vibrating. It's asking us to step into that. So that's what we want to do today for a few minutes. We want to step into that sixth sense, that place of knowing. And we're going to use these tools to get there. So I took a picture of all my oracle cards. I thought that was so funny. And then my cute little gourd doll, who has been with me since I found her. Harleen knows we did a class on creating these gourd shields, which was amazing. But she's like right there with me all the time, and I just love her. But anyway, this is a picture of all of my oracle cards right now, the ones that I own. And I'm always adding to my collection. But might want to know, how do you choose, a deck that works for you? Well, there's many ways to do that. First of all, just who are you as a person and what are you into? If you're an animal lover, a nature lover, if you're really super into wellness, into dreams, angels, whatever, you can look at possibility of all these different cards and pick a deck that seems to resonate with you. And what I suggest is that when you find a deck that you really get to know that deck, you look at the cards, you really, really work with them. And so that you start to embody those cards. So the three that I thought were maybe important for this call or this class, I picked three decks. So I picked the Four Agreements. This is the Four Agreements right here. And I like this deck because it's kind of the laws of the universe that reside here. It's like, don't take anything personally, always do your best. Those are some of the things that he talks about. And this is a really good deck to use, like if you're in a work situation or with your family. There's sort of universal laws that most people can relate to, right? I mean, they aren't things that are so far out that somebody couldn't do it. So one of them is don't make assumptions. So we've got don't make assumptions, always do your best, be impeccable with your word. Okay. So all four of those agreements, or the cards are connection to them. Those are universal truths and they can be used at any time. You could go into a board meeting and use those and it would be okay. You don't have to pull out the decks, but you could introduce those four universal truths and have people decide, yeah, I'm really good at not making assumptions, but I really suck at, taking things personally or whatever. But they're a good tool for family, for work, and for your own. And then the next one that I really love right now is the Kuan Yin Oracle cards. We used these a lot on our retreat last year. And these cards, they tap more into your divine feminine energy. So I'm trying to cover all these different areas. These cards have been very, very profound, and they all are, but that is more your feminine energy tapping into that the female goddesses, all of those energies that have been around us. But the one that the pendulum said was the best one for us to use are the Earth Warrior Oracle cards. And these are really pretty well, they're all powerful cards, but the Earth Warrior is about what's happening on the planet right now. To us personally, and to how we can affect it. And it's like being a warrior for the best planet, the best circumstances, the best world that we can possibly imagine. And it's a very, very powerful time. But anyway, just to say, pick a deck that works for you and get to know it, whether it's one of these three or any ones that you might look up online and decide are good for you.
Can I share some I just
Please,
got?
please.
I just found these. I love animals, spirit animals, and these are pocket animal spirit. They're really cool.
Ooh,
I got them in Moab, um, Utah when I was there, and they are just really cool. I have not used them yet because I want to, and I'm glad you said get to know them because I haven't got to know them yet, but I'm super excited about using these. I've been using these prayer cards
mm,
for about a year, and they have been pretty amazing as well. They're Hebrew, of course, prayer cards, but I'm super excited
beautiful.
to get to use these. So now that you said that, I'm going to just get to know them really well. I just got them about 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah, I would.
thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for sharing that. And I would pick a card every single day until, just
Okay.
get to know the energy. I'd pick a card every day after you do your quiet time or meditation or whatever. Pick one of those cards. That is awesome. I look forward to getting to know them. I'm always open to what's coming with these different energies. I feel like we've been given a gift with these oracle cards, and to use them is magical and helps us to manifest what we deeply desire. Thank you,
Well, you
Harleen.
introduced me, so yes.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
I'm on my way to get some more.
That's great. One is just how to use the oracle card. So what I suggest, you could pick one on the fly, but it really is more potent if you prepare yourself for the choosing of a card. So, I say, declutter like a little ceremonial space. So, for today, if you can see back here a little bit, the first thing I did is I lit a candle. So, this is my candle, and it says joy. So, that's the one I picked for today. So, I lit my candle and I created a little space here. I have my heart lamp right here as well. Sort of hard to see, but that's there. So this is my little space along with me. So I can just swivel my chair and do my whole picking of my cards right here, behind my desk, which is great because it's there and it's available. So we'll do this in a minute. I'm just going to go through it, but the best thing to do is just to take a few minutes to be still. And, I suggest just doing a couple of deep breaths, quiet your mind. You can put your hand on your heart, and then you want to be clear about a question that you want to ask. And it can be something very simple. What do I need to know now? It could be, what do I need to know for the greater good of me and the world? It could be, I need guidance right now about a certain topic. But get clear about what you want to ask. And I love just saying, show me what I need to know today. I mean, that's my favorite. But again, it's totally up to you. Show me what I need to know today. And then you take your cards and you actually do a shuffling. And we're going to do this in a minute, but I just want to go through this really quickly. So here's this deck of cards, and I want to hold in my thought pattern exactly the question I have as I do a little tapping and I do a little shuffling. I'm holding them. I'm thinking about what it is that I want to know. Show me what I need to know today. And then we're going to spread the cards out. So I would do it over here. Allow your energy to just pick the card that you're drawn to. So we don't just shuffle them and go, okay, here's my card. It's a little bit more conscious than that. As you start to embody the card deck that you're choosing with your own energy, it's going to start to respond to you. So you need to be able to do that. So then you spread the cards out and you pick the one that you feel is drawn to you. This goes into how then, so you pick a card. So I say, show me what I need to know today. I pick a card. It gives me my message. Then what do I actually do with that message that it gave me? First of all, of course, really embody it, bring it into your, into what is important to you. But what I like to do is I like to look at the image that it brings to me and really spend a moment just looking at the image, like look at all the colors, whatever the pictures are that are there. And then the other thing I like to do as I'm picking that is to think, okay, if I was to journal a little bit about this message, what would it be? What would it mean to me? So you journal about it and let it start to really speak to you. And this is something that I know I've done in the past and I've finally stopped doing it. It's like I'll pick one and it's not quite what I want it to be. So I go, oh, wait, sorry, that's not what I need to know today. And so I stop it and I think, oh, I better pick another car because it's not quite real. I stopped doing that because that is exactly the card that you picked. It's exactly what you need to know today. So don't get into the habit of saying it's not right, it doesn't work for me. There's a message in there for you. It's so important to go into the message and to reverently listen to it. And I mean, most of the time when we pick cards, are like, oh my God, this is so right on. But there are times when you're just like, I don't really want to know. It's like, it's okay. What you need to do is go for it anyway, because it's going to give you the most valuable information that you can totally imagine. So what I like to do is keep a journal, pick my cards, keep a journal, and keep looking at what is it that I'm trying to manifest. I said manifesting your dreams, but it could be something really simple, but just keep working with it. Let it be your guiding light as you work towards manifesting whatever it is right now that you need in your life. And so I'm going to read what I said here at the bottom. Here's the best news ever. The universe supports you in manifesting the best and the highest version of yourself. And the oracle cards are a simple way to connect to the divine as you continue to fine hone your intuition. Listen to the guidance you receive, put it into practice, and start living radiantly and on purpose, manifesting your dreams. So we'll go off of the slides right now, and we're actually going to pick a card. So I'm going to take the Earth Warrior cards that we were chosen for today, and I'm going to do my thing. And I'm going to ask my pendulum if I have permission. Well, first of all, Harleen, do I have permission to pull a card for you? Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
I said, Harleen says I can pull a card. Is that okay? So I'm getting a total yes on my pendulum. It's going clockwise. So with that idea that I'm allowed to pick and we can do this because sometimes when I'm coaching clients or whatever online, this is, I need to be able to do. So with the permission, then I'm thinking about Harleen. What is your question for today? Or what is it that you want the card to reveal?
I think, well, maybe I just leave it to the cards. What do I want to ask? Maybe just like you said, show me what I need to know today. I
Okay.
have so many things going through my mind, but let's just do that one and see what happens. I'm open.
Okay. So Harleen is show me what I need to know today. So we're talking about Harleen, and she wants to know what she needs to know today in this moment. What would help her? What is the message from the cards today? Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I just want to share that this is how I would do it for me. And it might not exactly be seen, but I'm going to move my candle here and I'm going to take the cards and I'm going to spread them out right here on my little altar place. Okay, so I have my cards all kind of spread out. Some people do it like this. Some people mess them up. I kind of like them all messy a little bit. And then I'm just going to take a minute and I'm going to go into my own intuition with Harleen. I'm channeling her energy and pick a card. So let's see what we get. Okay, so what card do I need? Does Harleen need? Okay, let's see. What is the card? Okay, I'm getting two with a lot of energy. I'm going to pull those two cards forward and I'm going to feel into both of them. And I picked the one that had the greatest warmth. And so the card you got, Harleen, is called Lolo.
Lolo.
Stand in the light.
What is that? Say that again.
Stand
Lolo?
in the light.
Awesome.
So this
Stand
is
in the light.
so, and I don't know if you can see this pretty clearly or not,
I
but
can
look
see
at the
it.
picture.
What?
Can you see that?
Butterfly. Yes, I can see it's beautiful.
Okay, so there's this beautiful, I'm going to describe it. So there's this whole big, huge ball of light, and then there is a butterfly, but the female form is the center part of the butterfly.
I see that. Okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And so the number on this card is number 16. So
Number
all of the
16.
Oracle decks have a book that goes with them. So I'm going to go to number 16 in here. And there's a lot of information, which I will send to Harleen, but I'm not going to do the entire thing. But what happens in this deck is there's a little paragraph at the beginning and one at the end, and then a huge explanation in between. But let's just see what it says for Stand in the Light so that we know that this is what Harleen picked for now. So I'm going to have to turn on this other light to get better reading for this. Okay, Harleen, here we go. Stand in the light. You are unique. You are a divine and beautiful being. You stand apart from the crowd. Sometimes this evokes jealousy or desire in others who want to possess your light and beauty as
Mm.
their own.
Wow.
Oh God, I'm gonna get tears.
Wow. Wow.
You need never fear another or believe that they can harm you. Allow yourself to be true to who you are. Do not try to hide your inner light or your beauty. You are meant to be seen. Your soul is nurtured and protected by your love for the divine.
Wow.
Shoot.
Wow. Fits perfectly today, for sure. Um, I've been trying to stand in the light and be centered, and this is a great message. I am working on trying to be my authentic self, but that has been a struggle due to some inner child woundings and healings that I'm working on. Um, so yeah, I'm in a deep space right now, working on the inside, and that card is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I could really feel your energy coming through it as I read it. I just got really teary. It's like, oh my gosh.
I
So
sent all my guardian spirits to help.
you did, and I will send that message to you. But what I want to say is that this is just a simple manifestation of the importance of just finding a guiding light to help us through the day, and it's a beautiful card, and everything it said are so true, that your beauty, your light, just everything is just so manifested through you. So I just love, love, love that you allowed me to do that, and that we can see the power of the cards really, and the power of our own intuition. Is there anything else, that you want to say about it, Harleen, or any questions you have or anything about it that you'd like to share?
No, I'm looking at what I wrote down when you were talking. Allowing myself to stand in the light, not trying to hide, which I have been doing, of course. um, the card just fits. I would like to read the rest of it. It just fits
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
Some of the struggles that I'm having today, I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need the help. I'm gonna need the help from and understanding this and kind of getting it right down into the deepest part of my soul instead of keeping it just in my head. And so
Yeah.
I probably need to meditate on this a bit on the
Okay.
card. Meant to be seen, which is really interesting. I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah, meant to be
Yeah,
seen.
and one of the gifts that I love to do is to work with people deeply on these, through coaching or retreats or
Right.
whatever. But I love the opportunity and the blessing to help other women manifest through this way. So yeah.
No, this is, thank you.
So
Sandra,
you have, oh, go ahead.
you've
Sorry.
definitely been a, you've definitely helped me kickstart a new way of being, and I look forward to the retreat. I'm so excited. I can't wait to, I wish it was now. But I look forward to it'll come right in the perfect timing for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you.